Ladies and gentlemen, boys and MBs, welcome back once again to the DMZ, and the haunting is still going on, but I did want to bring you the overall meta with the changes made with the latest patch update. These changes will work in the DMZ, but they are also for Battle Royale, so bear with me. Most of these guns are going to be suppressed because that's the way I like to play. Give them a try, and you will absolutely decimate everyone in the DMZ or in Battle Royale, or even in Lockdown if that's how you want to play. Before we get into this, I just want to make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new here, because over 80% of my viewers are not subscribed, which is incredible that so many of you are choosing my content. I would love to have you in my community, and with that, let's get into it. And for our very first loadout, I do want to start first with our assault rifle being the Cast-Off 7.62, which we're going to use the Husher 65 silencer and the Edge 47 foregrip. We're then going to use the high velocity ammunition in the 40-round magazine and finish off with the AMOP V4 or optic of your choice. This is the gun that's just turned into Old Faithful for me. This is the one that I choose. It's very easy to make contraband in the DMZ, and it just slaps everything. It is an incredible choice. The only thing that holds it back is it only has 40 rounds in its magazine. Other than that, this gun is absolutely incredible. If you're good at the game, you're gonna fry absolutely everything with this choice. And then I personally am gonna pair this one with the ISO 9mm, but any guns in this list you can mix and match. And for this ISO 9mm, I'm going to use the Forge DX90F suppressor and the ISO 45 factory barrel with the VLK 7mW laser and the A30 stout rear grip, finishing off with that 50-round drum to give you the ammo you need to absolutely slap everything up close. This is probably your best option for an SMG until you run out of ammo, because it is so hard on your ammo reserves. If it had more ammo in reserve, it would be the best option, period. If you just need to kill somebody as fast as possible, this is the one, and this is why I pair it with the Cast-Off 7.62 myself. Next, I want to talk about a gun that absolutely everyone is sleeping on, and we're staying in the Cast-Off family. We're going to talk about the Cast-Off 5.45, which is the replacement for the TAC 56, or I would dare say the Hemlock in Season 6 Reloaded. The 5.45 feels better than it ever has. It's a wonderful gun, and for this build, we're going to use the FSS Covert V suppressor and the Edge 47 foregrip. We're then going to use the high velocity ammunition in the 45-round magazine. However, you can put the 60 on it if you would rather have that extra ammunition, and you can kind of treat it like an LMG this way. Finally, we're going to finish it off with the AMOP V4 or the optic of your choice. Like I said, everyone is sleeping on the 5.45. This thing has almost no recoil, and it slaps absolutely everything. Give it a shot. And then I personally am going to pair this with the one-shot shotgun of the Lockwood 300. I know it got nerfed recently, but it did not get nerfed enough. This thing is still an absolute demon, and you will literally just destroy anyone. I suggest running throwing knives alongside it just in case, but for this build you are going to use the Bryson Series 12 choke, the Matt Uzek 812mm barrel, the Heist stock mod, the Maelstrom dual trigger, and the 12 gauge Dragon's Breath ammunition to make an absolute banger, one tapper. And with the throwing knife you can just boom and clean up, or if you break them, the throwing knife will be your finish. This thing is silly, just make sure not to miss your shots or you will be in trouble. Next, I want to talk about the only LMG on this list, and it's still an absolute banger, and I have no idea why, because they nerfed it. They just didn't nerf it hard enough once again, and that is the Rap H. The Rap H is an absolute demon, and for this build, we're going to start with the Castovia DX90 suppressor, then we're going to add the FSS Ole V laser, the Corio REX Pro optic or optic of your choice, the high velocity ammunition, and then finish off with the Lockman TCG-10 rear grip. This thing absolutely fries. It is incredible. The only downside is its reload speed, so keep that in mind. It is an LMG, so treat it like what it is. However, you will beat just about everything from that 30 to 150 meter range with absolute ease. And then I'm going to go ahead and pair this with one of the absolute best SMGs in the game. It was the absolute best in Season 5, and it still holds up, though there are a couple better now, and that is the Lockman Sub, or the MP5 as we all know it. And for this build, we're going to start with the X10 RR40 suppressor, then add the L38 Falcon 226mm barrel. We're then going to add the FT mobile stock and the Lockman TCG-10 rear grip, finishing off with the 40 or 50 round magazine, depending on if you value movement or having that extra 10 rounds in the mag. I personally like the 40 rounder, but again, that is completely up to you. The Lockman sub absolutely fries. You cannot go wrong with it. I'm sure you all know this, but this is a fantastic loadout for anywhere, DMZ or BR. Give it a shot, get this combo together if you're not sniping, and you will destroy everything. However, now it's time to talk about my personal favorite loadout, and you absolutely can't go wrong with it. I know I say that about everything on this list, and it is true, but the best gun, in my opinion, within all of Warzone and DMZ right now is the M13B or M13 Bravo. For this build, we're going to once again use the FSS Covert V Suppressor, then we're going to add a Choreo Enforcer optic or optic of your choice, the Agent Grip Underbarrel, the high velocity ammunition, and finish off with the 60 round magazine for the best AR in the game in my personal opinion. Stats will say otherwise, but I absolutely love this gun and I don't think anything can compete with it. I fry absolutely everything with it. I'm in love with it. Go on all day. And I pair this with the Bass P. And the Bass P is a gun I've been singing the praises of for multiple seasons now, and it seems people have finally figured out just how good this gun is. It is quite literally the best SMG in the game, bar none. You cannot go wrong with the Bass P, and it has a range of, I think, 35 meters before it really falls off, and it fries everything. It's insane. For this build, we're going to start with a 10.5-inch Bruin Typhon barrel, then we're going to add the VLK 7mm laser, we're going to put the hollow point ammunition in the 50-round drum, then finish off the D37 rear grip, and this is going to be your best option. You can even use this as a sniper support gun if you want to. And with only 2 loadouts left to talk about, I did just want to take a second and say, if you're still here, clearly you like my content, and I would absolutely love it if you could slap that like button and definitely make sure to subscribe so you can find your way back. Again, more than 4 out of 5 of my viewers are not subscribed, and that is absolutely absurd. And please leave a comment below if you've been using my builds and you've absolutely fallen in love with them, so other people can see the testimonials and they will give them a chance as well. Now let's get into it with our second to last loadout with the Tempest Razorback. And with the Razorback, this is a gun that hasn't changed since I figured out the absolute best build for it the first week it was out. Everyone from West, East Odd, Fixate, all the way to Stone Mountain and Jack Frags have ran this thing and absolutely fallen in love with it. For this build, you're going to use the Echoless 80 suppressor, the 13-inch Frenzy 9 barrel, the Edge 47 foregrip, the high velocity ammunition, and finish off with a 60 round magazine. The Razorback is an absolute banger this season, probably my second favorite weapon behind the M13B for assault rifles, and that's because I like a fast fire rate. The only thing this gun suffers from is it does fall off at range, but it does absurd damage up close, rivaling a lot of the submachine guns. So between the M13B and the Razorback, just know one's going to be better at that long range, one's going to be better up close. And with that, I do like to pair this gun with the ISO 45, which I'm sure if you're playing this game, you know that the ISO 45 is an absolute demon, and it has been since it came out. However, we did just get a new barrel for it when the ISO 9 came out, and that is the 6-inch Axe Blade barrel. You're going to use the Axe Blade barrel along with the 7mm VLK laser, the Agent Grip underbarrel, the A30 Stout rear grip, and then finish off with the 45 round drum for an absolute banger SMG. Again, the only problem being that 45 round magazine. I can't say anything bad other than that about this gun, and that's why I rank it as the number 2 SMG this season. And hey, wait a minute, I did want to give you guys one more loadout, and that's going to start with the TR-76 Geist, the new gun, the best AR in the game according to the stats. And for this build, we're going to start with the Freight 40 barrel. We're then going to add the VLK 7mm laser. I use the SZ SR07 optic. You can again use the optic of your choice. I use the high velocity ammunition in the 45 round drum to finish it off to make the absolute best build for this gun, bar none. The recoil is smooth. You've got the ADS from the laser as well as the stability. Just all around incredible. Use the optic of your choice and you will absolutely fry everything with this. And I'm going to pair this with what I believe to be the current best sniper in the game, and that is the Victus XMR. And for the Victus, I'm actually going to give you 2 different builds. One is going to be high velocity, and the other one, of course, is going to be your one-shot sniper build. It's kind of sad that we have to do this, as snipers should just simply be a one-shot gun all around. But with that, for our high velocity build, we're going to start with the Bruin Counter Ops suppressor. We're then going to add the VLK 7mm laser. I use the SZ heat source optic. You can use the optic of your choice or the ADS rear grip. Then I'm going to add the FTAC Homeland stock and finish off with that high velocity ammunition for a magnificent gun. However, if you want to go the route of the one-shot explosive sniper. You're still going to start with the Bruin counter-op suppressor, but you're going to add the Mac 8 33.5-inch super barrel, the VLK 7mm laser, the FTAC Homeland stock, and the 50 cal explosive ammunition. If you do want to change your optic, you can take off that Homeland stock to change the optic, but this is the build that I use when one-shot sniping with this gun. It feels great, it gets the job done, and it's a lot of fun. It's up to you which way you go with this sniper, but this is the best one in my opinion. And with that, that's gonna do it for me, boys. Make sure to slap that like button, and I'll catch you in the next one, where I'll see ya in Al Mazrah.
There's nothing to do but do drugs all day. Beach bug, I'm a beach bug, baby. Beach bug, I'm a beach bug, baby.